Good evening and salutations, my YNR fans. I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to talk about today's episode, but I'm also going to talk a little bit about yesterday's episode, just because, let's be honest, there wasn't really a lot that actually happened in this episode today. Um, Watching yesterday's episode, I'm going to be honest. Abby, every day, just finds new ways to remind me how much of an idiot that she is. The whining, the crying, oh, we can't be over this, that, and the third, up until the point of, I can't believe you're being so logical about this. I mean, I need you to sit there and feel something. You're being too logical about this. Yell at me, cry, do something. I was like, okay, so let me get this straight. After you just cheated on this man, you have the audacity to sit there and start trying to tell this man how he should feel. Abby, I can't believe that you run your own business. You ever just seen somebody say and do the stupidest things and wonder how they are in the position that they are in? I know that Abby has money. She comes from a wealthy family and stuff like that. So in reality, it's not like she really has to work a day in her life. But I just don't understand how somebody who runs her own restaurant could just come out and say some of the dumbest things possible. Oh, it was just a mistake. It was a moment of weakness. You got any other cliches that you're going to use for justifying your cheating? No? Okay, cool. I think you could just let the man go. Um, and of course, I don't know how I'm going to title this. I think I'll sit there and, I got an idea. And of course, Chance runs into Devon, and I was like, what, what was the point of that? I mean, the whole time you can tell Chance wanted to swing on him so bad. So bad he wanted to swing on him. And you ever just see a look like a stance? He actually literally had, if you go back and you watch this, like he had a stance, like he couldn't wait to punch him in the face. And I think that camera angle and the way he was standing on purpose was really good because it gave you that suspense, like he's really about to clock him. But he doesn't. They have some words and then they just kind of exit. And of course, employees are dropping left and right for Lily. And Devon is not even going to, he didn't even tell Lily why Amanda quit. And I'm just like, Devon, I haven't been watching the show that long, but you really seem like you seem a lot better than that. Like he seems, at least the impression I get. So I don't know. Now, going into today's episode, there really wasn't a lot that happened. I mean, um, Chelsea is having bad ideas, I'll sit there and say, about telling Connor the truth about why she was in a mental hospital in the first place. And Adam is like, I think that's a bad idea. I really do. I think that's a bad idea. He's a kid. He's already feeling guilty enough for, you know, pushing you away, the way he reacted. I don't think that's a good idea. And then what is Connor, like 8, 9? That is a heavy subject to put on an adult, let alone a child. But she's just like, well, I don't want to lie to him. He's going to find out anyway. I'd rather find out from me. I was like, Chelsea, the last time you had this much energy to want to tell your children something, it blew up in your face. And granted, I would have supported that. I supported that idea to an extent. But then she kept pushing for a relationship. And that's where she messed up. And even after Billy and Victoria and Adam was like, just chill. Take a beat. Let them adjust to it. Just chill out. This is something that she clearly wants to still do. She clearly wants to do. And, here's the thing. When Chelsea wants to sit there and make this decision, I'm like, okay, this is Chelsea being Chelsea. This is her energy. But now she actually has a therapist that is okaying this. And I'm just like, Shannon, I mean, Sharon, what kind of therapist, what kind of clinic did you actually Like, what kind of clinic did you put her in? Okay, she already had one therapist, and then for some odd reason, they decided to just throw her another one. On top of that, Adam, finding out that she's leaving, she's leaving the place. And he's like, "Yo, are you sure it's a good idea?" And apparently, it was only for 72 hours. I'm like, Chelsea, I think you need to be in here a little bit longer than 72 hours. Really do. And I don't remember who was in there saying like she's past the danger point or whatever of hurting herself. And I was like, is she? I mean, she had 3 therapy sessions. I mean, granted, yeah, I get that they're going to be that they're doing outpatient, and granted she can't stay there forever, but I'm just like 3 days, and just like, all right, you good, Snoop, you good, don't worry about it, it's fine. So, long story short, Shannon has an idea when she comes to pick up Chelsea and Billy. Billy's there, and they, because at this point Chelsea's, it's like, where's Chelsea going to live? I'm surprised that she was actually still living at the Grand Phoenix and she didn't have a job. I don't understand that at all. But when she decides to, when she gets picked up by them, she's not that thinking she's gonna go to the coffee house and go to like start looking at places to live. But since Mariah and Tess moved out to have more room, they invite Sharon, I was going to say Shannon again. Sharon invites Chelsea to move into their place. And at first she's kind of like, I'm surprised given our history, but she accepts and she moves in. Now, Chloe and Sally are brainstorming ideas about what to do with their next move as far as their careers. And, they both kind of agree that they should probably do some in fashion since that's their wheelhouse. But now it's just about getting the right people to sit there and look at them and give them a chance. So Nick comes in there, and at first Chloe's like, how about you ask Summer to invite us back to work for her? And we're a lot better now. We have a better relationship. I think it will work out. So I was like, I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think you should do that. And Nick agrees. He's like, yo, listen, I don't tell my daughter what to do. I'm not influencing my daughter's decisions. That's a lane I'm not going to be in. But he gives him a counteroffer. He's like, I'll give you a loan to start up your own company. Chelsea jumps at that chance, but Sally's like, I don't think I don't think that's a good idea. Given their history and given the idea of being beholden to someone, especially when it comes towards money. So she's like, yo, listen, I'm good. Thank you. But no, thank you. They go back and forth. Chelsea takes a phone call, and Nick is like, just think about it. And he makes some jokes that I found might have been a little inappropriate. And on top of that, we'll probably give her more pause as far as not taking money from them for this startup company. Chloe comes back, and Nick leaves. By the way, they got a date that's going to be going on later that day. Chloe really wants, to borrow the money, and she's like, yo, listen, I get your reservations, I get things may not work out, but, chances like that don't come around too often. We got to sit there and take this chance and do it. At the very least, think about it. I'm pretty sure Sally already made up her mind the first time when she was like, no. I'm like, maybe I could sit there and work at like Walmart or something like that. I'm just saying, like, retail ain't bad. Like, y'all ain't doing nothing except for putting ideas into a little box. Like, I mean, come on. Yeah. I wish that if I ever got fired from a place, I could just be like, hey, let's just put some ideas into a box. Oh, and put some little change in there, a little pocket change from Lent, What are y'all ladies doing? Now I'm glad that she is thinking about doing fashion as far as Sally because that was her thing. I mean, AKA Victor Newman calls her the dressmaker. So do what's in your wheelhouse. There were some scenes with Adam and Billy before they went to go pick up Chelsea, but it didn't really amount up to anything. It felt like they were both just kind of puffing up their chests and talking about Chelsea. And Adam was like, "Oh, I don't think you're good for her, Billy." And Billy's probably thinking the same thing. The usual run of the mill stuff. Um, just double check, make sure I didn't miss anything. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like this episode was average at best. Nothing really major happened. It was actually a smaller cast, which I appreciated that part. I appreciated that part. But it wasn't really like that happened too much in this episode. I mean, towards the end, Adam sees Nick come into society, and he looks at the bartender like, "Yo, drinks is on him." They talk for a little bit, and of course, Nick is like, "I'm here waiting for someone." And Adam's like, "Someone, right? Come on, let's just cut the nonsense. It's Sally, isn't it?" And of course, Sally is like waiting waiting by the door. I'm like, it kind of sucks because it's not like they really have a lot of sets. And granted, there's only two places that they can actually be, either Society or Crimson Light. Oh, I guess they can go to Noah's place. I mean, don't they go for like dinner or whatever? I don't even know if Society actually offers. I don't even know if Society actually offers anything other than coffee, so I have no idea. But yeah, let me just double check, make sure I didn't forget anything. I think that's about it. I think that's why I had to talk about yesterday's episode a little bit, because today's episode was not really like that good. It wasn't terrible, it was just average. And here's the thing, what I'm going to sit there and say before I go, and I'll bring this up in the stream tonight. I can't say much about this soap opera, okay? Because one of my subscribers named Samuel has said that this, more or less, this is the usual energy that this show goes into. But he also says that the show was better back then. And I kind of had to take his word on it. My thing is that back then, I feel like soap operas used to be much watched TV. Much watched TV. And I feel like maybe that's went away. It's went away. Like I was talking about Days yesterday. I was talking about Days and GH. I was like, the episodes are average and boring. And some people were like, you're being kind of harsh on it. They can't be bangers every day. And I was like, why can't they? Why can't they? I feel like at this point, we shouldn't just accept average. That's what it comes down. We shouldn't, I'm actually saddened that I've seen people get to the point where they just accept average. And it just became okay. It just became the standard. Oh, the episode's okay. It was fine. Whatever. It's like, no. Why wasn't the episode good? Why wasn't it glued? You know what I'm saying? Why wasn't your buttocks glued to the seat? That's how these soap operas should be. And I don't know what's going on with them. And I'm not liking where they're going. Because average shouldn't just be the new normal. And it shouldn't just be accepted. I'll probably get more into it tonight when I sit there and chop it up with y'all. With that being said, I'm going to go. I want to thank you for watching. Be safe, and I'll see you in the next video.